Ever had AI as the 12th man in your football team? Here are 10 powerful features of StepOUT designed to take your game to the next level. Total management system for players and coaches. Streamline everything from planning to performance with a system tailored for the entire team. Sense VS for side-by-side comparisons. Compare players and strategies directly to identify strengths and areas to improve. Distribution map for passing patterns. Decode your team's passing game with detailed distribution insights. Activity map to visualize positioning and ball movement. Track every movement on the pitch with an interactive activity map. Vector map for visualizing player actions. Analyze team shape and ball flow with precise vector visuals. Spotlight for pre-tagged video library. Quickly access key moments with a categorized video database. Network analysis to uncover team dynamics. Reveal passing networks and team connectivity like never before. Athlete app to elevate player performances. Empower players with personalized insights and progress tracking. Player profiles and historical performance analysis. Dive into detailed player profiles and track performance trends over time to optimize growth. And so much more. From match prep to post-game analysis, StepOUT redefines football insights. Discover the full potential of StepOUT. Visit www.stepout.ai for a deeper dive into our game-changing features.
Cyprus football, the passion, the thrill. The passion, the thrill. The stadium's roar, you can feel the chill. You can feel the chill. The teams are ready, the battles will start. The battles will start with dreams of glory, they'll play with heart.
Kalimera, Kalispera, wherever time you're watching This Is Mappa. I'm Stel, and this is a very special edition because this gentleman to your right, my left, knows a thing or two about Cyprus football. Michael, how you doing, bro? Segala.
Hey, man. Thank you for having me in your podcast, first of all. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Likewise, bro. Likewise. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure being here, man. And thank you for giving me a platform to speak about what you have to discuss about the platform, the StepOUT, and everything that we need to discuss about it.
Bro, everyone is welcome, especially you. So I'm very humbled that you wanted to join me on the podcast. Before we start there, you've got a long history of coaching and being part of football development in Cyprus. Tell us a little bit about the things that you've done in the past, because you've been at a few clubs, haven't you?
Yeah, basically just a small introduction about myself. I am a WFIA coach. I've worked from first division to fourth division, either as head coach or assistant coach by Kerinyas, the Yanis Morphu. Also in first division with Carmiotis for a few period. Also at the moment, I'm a scouter for Limassol. During the recent years, though, my pure passion is the development of youth footballer and how to help them to develop as footballers and as humans, first of all, because this is something that I'm telling also the parents, because I'm a technical director in an academy also at the moment, is that we need to create a pathway for the players and the people to achieve what they want in life, because 1 out of 150 players would actually be professional football players. So my goal is to educate them in terms of how they can achieve to be professional football players and to provide them a B plan, let's say, for scholarships and etc. with the platform. And also in the academy, it's very important for me to mention that our goal is to achieve that. I work in Xilofao FC now. I went there as a technical director. It's a brand new academy. We started from scratch this season, actually. And hopefully I found 2 amazing presidents that they gave me a white paint and I can draw whatever I want to do there, to be honest.
Well, bro, do you know what? This ties in very well to what we try to, project on the podcast, and that's youth development in Cyprus, because our national team hasn't been doing great over the past few years, but recently with Agi coming into the first team, even Sofroni before that, we've seen a change in the culture, the mentality especially. but we're also seeing a lot of these players who came from academies like Humbo, Omonia, who's now Ari, like various other players, and they're now. It's almost as if they've matured in such a way that they're able to basically play whichever style the coach wants. But the one thing that we keep discussing or we keep mentioning is how the national service has hindered player development. Is that a major issue for many Cypriot players at the moment?
It is, but I would say that the past 2 years, there is a change of mentality also from the Cypriot players. In what sense? If you take the few years back, not many elite players from the under 18, under 19 age group or under 17 would go to second division teams to play. If you look the division now in second division, it has become more professional, and you will see many players from the under 21 or under 19 national teams that are playing in these teams now. So that helps them to develop as players, to play professionally, and they don't think it's a downgrade to go in second division and play. And because if you see also the national teams of under 21, under 19, under 17, they are actually playing good football, which is the most important for me, is to have a structure and a way of football. That was our main issue as national teams. But the CFA during the past years, they have tried to implement some structure, the way that we play football. And as the players progresses to the next level, it's easy for them to adapt and to develop in that system that you are mentioning. Because I have been following the national teams in the past year, and I could say that the coaches there are doing an amazing job, and that the teams are actually trying to play football. Even with bigger opponents, you don't see our teams go low block and just wait for the opposition. And at the end of the day, if you play as Cyprus, if you play Holland, Germany, teams that are much better than you, you would expect in that sense to lose the game, but at least lose it with your own way. So you can learn something. And this is what I'm trying to make the parents to understand, the kids to understand, that everything is a progress, and you have to trust the progress. The process.
No, of course, but it's both. You need to trust their progress as well, because if they're not progressing in the way that they should, then you're going to have issues. And it's not just the physical side; it's the mental side. Exactly. And coming from Cyprus is a beautiful island. I wouldn't say there are lots of distractions, like for example in the UK, but you got your coffee shops, you got the thalassa, you got this and that. So it's easy for a youngster to feel, I'm in my comfort zone. And I think that's another reason why quite a few Cypriots who have gone abroad to play haven't done as well as they probably could have, because it's a culture shock. I mean, I'll give Gagu Liz an example. I love Gagu. I speak to him regularly, and I was very disappointed for him that he didn't do as well as he could have done in Sweden. But do you think that may have been because of the change of scenery? It's much colder for a start.
I believe that the culture aspect, it's very important. And unfortunately, as Cypriots, I believe it's not easy for us to adapt in a different environment. I have a case in my mind, I don't want to mention the name, that he was one of the best youth goalkeepers that I've seen in my life. Very honest, amazing goalkeeper. And he went to Italy and in second division, and he was the second goalkeeper at the age of 18. So you understand how important that was. But he didn't manage to stay there for 3 months. He came back and he told me, I can't stay alone. I can't make friends. So it's not easy for us to go abroad and adapt. But I would say there is a movement in recent years that youth players, because we are doing good in development, you can see that teams that, especially from Portugal and Spain, that we don't mention a lot, that are coming and picking our players to go in their development programs. So I believe that if more players are able to stay abroad and we can hear the success story, the culture will change eventually. And don't forget that we have Castanos that he's playing abroad, and Stay that he's playing in Belgium. this is examples that I believe that CFA could bring up forward to share their story, their full story. I think Castanos did a podcast also that he's talking about it, which is really. But I think that CFA should provide that platform to sit in front of the screen and just have like a 30-40 minute podcast to explain exactly the process of how he developed. Because I was in Bikerina youth teams. I play against Castanos when he was here. So I saw him. He was very good. He was a very good player. I'm not going to say he's not a very good player, but I didn't expect that he would play in first division in Italy.
Yeah.
So he had to explain also the mental part, because the football is about four things: the mental, physical, the technical, and the tactical. And in each phase of your age category, you have to develop certain things. You don't have to do things, for me, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, there's another thing that I need to bring up before we move on to Step Out, and that's the utilization of the diaspora. There's a lot of British Cypriots, American Cypriots, and we're now seeing, especially at under 21 level, the likes of Gabriele Ordelli, the goalkeeper who's at Watford, half Cypriot, half Italian, various other players. Rio Sotiriou has played for the national team. Hector Gibrianu, that's obviously there, and Harry Mills, who's at Brighton, who's a left back, and I think he's played for the under 21s. Now, I don't know if you know this, but in 1975 in London, there was a league created by Cypriots, Greek Cypriots, and also Turkish Cypriots. Yeah, it was called the Goba League, and there were teams like Anorthosi, Apoel, Omonia, various other clubs, and even though they weren't directly linked with the clubs in Cyprus, they shared the names, etc., etc. And many players have played in that Goba League, such, for example, Les Ferdinand. Do you remember him, the striker that played for England? And he played in the Goba League for Achna, and he was 17, 18, right? The league no longer exists, but we do a show called This Is Goba, where we talk about the league and bring people on that played in the league and all their stories and everything. And we keep saying, with so many British Cypriots, not just in London, but throughout the UK, it increases the pool of talent that are available to play for the Cyprus national team, provided they get their passports, etc., etc. So do you think that if there were teams like, for example, let's say Buffon, they create their own team in London and they bring in the British Cypriots there, do you think that would help the development of Cyprus football in general?
Well, I don't know the extent of and how many, in terms of percentage, how many half Cypriots, half UK they are there, but it would make sense to create like feeder clubs, let's say, for example, not in the sense like Pafos create Pafos FCs in UK, but if they can find a national league level team, and
well, there is a Nea Salamina playing in the lower league level, and I think they're connected with Salamina in Cyprus. I think
they are. I think I know the story about that. So I wouldn't say that it's necessary for the teams go there and create their own brand name in UK, but I believe that they could create like a feeder situation where like they sponsor the clubs and they help the clubs in terms of the structure, the economics, and everything. But you have to have players that are Cypriots and they are developing under that system. I believe that it would help because you create a bigger pool, and we know we are only 1 million people, so you do understand that for what we are doing, actually we are doing a really good job. Okay, and let's not forget about that. But if we create a bigger pool, then we can find better players probably. And I would say that also the way that they train in UK, it's more physical, it's more transitional game. You will find different players of what we create here. So it's something that it should work and can work actually, if we can do that.
Well, look, we've got many players that can qualify to play for Cyprus in the UK. Like, for example, we had Andros Townsend, who you know. There's Marcus Edwards, who's at Burnley at the moment. And there's also JJ Andreu, that's 14, 15 years old, playing for Man United, but he's scoring goals in the under 18s. So I think that on the one hand, I understand the CFA are a little bit reluctant to look outside of Cyprus because it's hindering the progression of players within Cyprus. And I get it. But at the same time, you've got players that are at a different level that can obviously help their teammates when they are called up to this under 16s, 17s, etc.
At the same time, you could say also about the Greek national team, what Jovanovic is doing, that he went around to Goretzka and some other two players that I don't remember now the names, that he went, like they were born abroad, but they could be Greek players for the Greek national team, and they managed to get them. If you have talents, I mean, I don't understand the reason why you will not try and approach them and say, we want you for the Cyprus national team. Obviously, for the Greek half UK citizens, if they have in their mind that they want to play in the UK national team, it's not easy to convince them to come with you. Like for example, with Towson, I know the story about Towson. He's a very good player. Like he played in Premier League for so many years. You are not able to convince him to come with you. That's not what I'm saying. So that's the issue. For me, the issue is that now what the national team is doing, the men's team, you see that they are progressing. You see that they fight each game. You see that they have a certain mentality on the field that you like to watch, and that will attract this kind of young Cypriot players in UK, I believe. And don't forget, when you play for the national team, you need to feel like you're proud that you are doing. And I believe that they have started to create that. To be honest with you, like I didn't watch many games of the national teams, but after Sofronis and now Manjos, I love watching them actually. Them.
We were very critical of the previous coach. I'm not going to mention his name, and the system that he played. But when you look at the players that he has, the current coach has at his disposal. I mean, Shiki is now playing for the national team. You know, Sielis is playing regularly. Bilea is playing regularly. And then you obviously got the three guys between Bitta, where you've got Loizu, you've got Johnny's, Castano's obviously there. Even Artimata is playing absolutely fantastic. He's playing out of his skin at the moment. So things are looking really positive, and the performances have been great. Okay, we drew against Bosnia, even though we were 2-0 down, or against Romania, 2-0 down, got the draws there. That's character. Going to Austria and almost winning there. We almost won in Austria.
We could have won. But you know, this is what Mourinho told in an interview, that the heritage we are talking about.
Football heritage, yes.
It's something that we don't have as a culture, as a football culture. That's the reality of it. And now we are trying to build something. To build something for me is to be very realistic. You can't say I'm going to Euros or the World Cup. Okay, what you can say at the moment, I'm gonna push for the second position that gives me an opportunity to go there. Okay, but be there. Don't be 10 points behind that position. Be 4, be 5 points. Like, I'm there. Okay, so start building that, and then you can progress from that. You have to be realistic with your goals and everything. And I think this is what they are doing in CFA at the moment with Manjos and everything. I think we have a bright future in front of us. If you see the national teams, we have really good talent in the teams. Really, really good talent, to be honest.
And the thing is, if you look at under 19 level, for example, I know Buffer have been dominating the past few years, but this season, Anorthosi have come really strong. I think they beat Buffer 3-0 at the weekend.
Yeah.
And they've only conceded 1 goal out of 8 games. You got Apollon, whose youth academy is improving a lot. You could tell that Perry and the team have done fantastically. Or Ari, their youth team.
But you know what? Another reason we are achieving this kind of results in the development, because we have accepted that football has improved, went forward, and we're using better tools like StepOUT. Like StepOUT is basically, just to say to the audience, is an AI performance analysis platform. So whatever is happening in the game for your team, it has a full holistic analysis. Whatever is happening for the team, so the coach can see it. Every data is tagged with a video, and also all the individuals have their own holistic analysis. So whatever is happening on the field, it's tagged with a video and also in graph measure. So the teams now have started using this kind of tools to improve their own team and their players. So it started like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that we have started implementing this kind of stuff in Cyprus. And other countries have been doing it for so many years.
Yeah.
So you understand what I'm talking about, that the progression is there, but we have a lot of ground to cover.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned StepOUT, because that was the next subject that we're going to discuss, and it's the AI platform that you're heavily involved in. I've taken a look at some of the information available online, the video that you showed me earlier, and if you're right, I can put that video up. If you're right with it, I can put that up later on. I think it's a remarkable bit of software because, listen, data is huge in football. We know how the likes of Brighton have utilized data analytics to find players across the world. And it isn't just about selling them on for hundreds of millions. It's about the performance and the improvement of the club as a whole. Now, tell us about StepOUT, bro, because I've seen what it can do. And when I saw that you could upload a clip and it would just find the kilometers, the distance run, the positions, that it creates heat maps. It's a phenomenal bit of kit.
Yeah. So basically, StepOUT, as I mentioned before, it's an AI performance analysis. So we need to, because I get this question a lot. What is the difference with Wisecout? Wisecout is just a platform where all the games are there. You can watch the full game. It has a small analysis, but it's not 100% correct. Our platform, basically, it breaks down every action. The dashboard of the TMS is seamless, so it's very easy for the coach to go through it and see how your team performed. And also you can see every action in video. And again, all the individuals have their own analysis. So you can take that, see the development of your team and the development of your player and how you progress. We basically, what we need is, because we work with the AI, we need the number of the shirt of the player. The AI tracks that. We upload the game on the TMS. In 24 hours, the analysis is ready. And we are one of the fastest companies to do that. In terms of that, we have cooperations in Cyprus like Apollon, Limassol Academies. And because you mentioned Berry is actually using the platform, they are really happy with it. And Apollon have the Apollon Academies from under 19 to the under 13. I'm actually cooperating with the AL First Division for the platform. They use the analysis system, the first team. Also in abroad, we have cooperations with Ajax. Now we actually won an award with Real Madrid. We are going with Real Madrid. In USA academies, we are all over around the world. In StepOUT, I'm actually the business director. So my main goal is to grow the platform, the people to understand what we do as a platform. And because I'm gonna say it, I'm trying to find the words to say correctly, to be honest. Most of the platforms, like for example, a client buys the subscription and everything, and they just start using the platform. This is not us. What we do, we create your own WhatsApp group. We are 24/7 there for you. So everything is personalized for you guys. And we are your right-hand man, let's say, for whatever you need for us. And it's very important tool also for the individuals. The individuals can use it by themselves because we have an application for the players. So if the players want to see their development through the season, I think you saw my Instagram that I have some players that are using the application. The applications show you how many wrong passes you did, because we have passes, sub-attribute short passes, then we have the events, key passes, through passes, like we have everything there. So the players can see exactly how they perform with the heat map, with the vectors. Everything is flawless for them. And it's ready for them to help them in the development. So teams need this kind of platforms to help their players to develop and their team to win.
And it seems to me that it almost creates like a CV for the player. So look, I'll give you my example here. There are certain transfer windows where I might speak to a sporting director and they'll say to me, "Oh, send me their transfer marked." Well, look, transfer marked stats can be changed. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything else. But when you have an application like this, especially using AI, that is pretty much as accurate as it can possibly get. That gives you a breakdown of the players' statistics. We're talking about, what we're saying, kilometers run, complete passes.
We don't have the fitness metrics, so distance cover and the heart rate, we still don't have it. But all the rest,
but it will come.
It will come very soon. Hopefully, it will come.
There you go. So again, you're adding more to the application. Yeah, and what you're doing now is you're creating a CV, an accurate CV of the. There's no need to be looking online. You can say, right, I need player X. What can you tell me about him? Well, you know, he makes this many passes, this many runs. He covers this amount of ground. Various other things that you could find repetition, various patterns.
It's exactly what you said now, because with the platform you can create the individual reports. That report, it's every small detail in every 5 minutes, how you run, how you passed, every 5 minutes now I'm talking. You can see also per minute. You create your own CV, and basically how the big clubs works, they have the tiers. I think you understand that. It's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and go on. So with our platform, you can actually download your report in CSV, HTML, whatever way that you want, okay? And you can set it to the clubs. And also your report that is a visual report and the CSV, and they can see if it matches their tier. Because each club, they have their own identity. With for example, like this is what I tell also the players. Maybe you do 50 passes per game, but if from that 50 passes just parallel, doesn't make sense. Like a coach may need an attacking midfielder that makes 20 passes, but 2 passes are key passes, for example. So this is what we break down exactly. So you can find with that CV that you are mentioning exactly how you perform, and if it fits to the perspectives of the club that is looking for a player.
And the thing is, you can do comparisons as well, can't you, with other players? So you don't have to be clicking here and there. It gives you like a chart, doesn't it, of specific factors, no?
At the moment, our platform is an individual performance analysis for the teams. And the reason they are coming with us is because clubs don't want to see other clubs what they are doing exactly with their players. Okay. What we are doing now, you can compare your teams with with the whole structure of your team. Hopefully, very soon, it's in the pipeline to create a scouting system inside in our platform where you can see all the players that we have, and then you can do exactly what you have mentioned, see the tiers, see if it fits with your playing style, and if it fits for you the style of the country.
Tell me about the the vector map and the activity map.
So so basically the platform starts with summary, attributes, and then it goes to the vectors. So basically, and the activity map. The activity map basically is the heat map of our system, and it shows exactly in which zone you perform individually, or the coach wants to see the team, exactly any attribute that you want to see. And what we do, we broke it down, not just on a zone like your opponent's middle and your own zone. We have like 38 zones, small zones in squares, and you know exactly where you perform. You just click that zone, you go down, and you just click play, because everything is automatic. And you can see all the actions that happen in that zone. And then the vector map, it's a clear indication. That's my favorite part, to be honest with you, with the platform, because it's a clear indication where something has started and where something has finished. So you can see exactly how your team performed and which passing lanes it took, where you did exactly the ball distribution, and which players did the combinations. And again, it's everything you just on the vector map, you just go on it. There's a clip. You just press on it, and it takes you directly to the face that you want to see for the players. And the best part is for the TMS I'm mentioning is that at the end we have the spotlight. The spotlight, basically, you press the spotlight, and whatever I have mentioned now in terms of attributes, sub-attributes, events, for example, passes, short pass, key pass, everything is there. You can see it. Go there. You create your own playlist, and you just download it. and very, very soon we are going to have our own telesprite, our own Anonate, basically, where you draw and you do the small things for the coaches, and everything is there automatically. Everything automatically.
Yeah, because you got the player profile bit, which we mentioned before with the CV, where you bring it up and it shows you the vector, it shows you the analysis, it gives you all these graphs, and it reminds me of like Pro Evolution Soccer, the game. You know, when you highlight a player, yeah, so it shows you the strengths and all that. It's great. And again, I'm not just saying this because you're working as a team, and it's perfect. It is exactly what scouts want, because obviously there are a lot of teams that can't afford to fly scouts to certain places, and it makes things a lot easier in terms of obviously analyzing a player's ability and what they can and can't do. Obviously, as you mentioned, different leagues, different levels. But again, going back to the Brighton example, when they're bringing players like Caicedo from Ecuador, Paradigma, right, where the league isn't exactly the strongest, but you can still see that this player can do this, can do that, is effective in this position. And it's incredible, mate. And good luck to you. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
It's very important for the teams to understand that they need this kind of tools to help their players especially the youth development teams. It's very important to have tools like this to help your players to develop.
Yep.
If you want honestly to develop your players. And secondly, the scouters, it makes their life much easier, because most of the platforms, to be very honest, what they do, they take just the CSV data and they just say 24 out of 50 passes correct. But that's not realistic. Ours is realistic because it's visualization. It's not just numbers. So we're trying to make it as more realistic as possible. Obviously, the data is not, you don't just take decision from the data, but the data is a clear indication if the player is good or not, if this is the player that you want. And also with our platform, the visualization, it shows you exactly where he moved, how he moved, where he passed, how he passed it, and how he progressed through the season. And also something very important for the platform, you can create AI highlights, you can generate AI reports for the team and for the individuals. So we are trying to create and build a brand that they do understand that we want to help them and develop, because also in terms of cost-wise, we are in a very good cost price, because our motto is we are for everyone. We are for everyone. And we want to achieve that.
One question, a side note here. Obviously, AI is huge. You know, you see videos, you see ChatGPT, for example. I use it quite a lot for my job. I'm not going to lie, I'm lazy sometimes. But I'm certain that there are competitors that are doing something similar to you guys. What makes your platform stand out from the rest?
So obviously, in this modern world that you live, whatever you do, you have competition. That's the reality of it. Yes, we have 2-3 competitions that are close to our platform, but what it makes our difference is that our AI, at the moment, we are 99% correct with our tagging and with the video. Also, we have more attributes, sub-attribute, and events than any other platform. We are one of the fastest companies, if not the fastest, that we do the analysis, the full analysis for the team and for the individuals. And the most important factor for us is that, as I mentioned before, we are not a platform you just buy your year subscription and you just working. We create your own WhatsApp group with your own team, and we are your right-hand man. Whatever you need. Like, because you mentioned, I don't know if I can say, you mentioned Barry, okay, because I know him also. At the beginning, he needed specific reports for the goalkeepers. And he couldn't do it. You can't do it by yourself. But he texted in the WhatsApp group. After a few minutes, we just did the reports that he wanted to see, the comparison for the players. So this is an example just to show you guys that we are the right-hand man for you. Like, even with Sahel, like whatever they need, the first team, we are there for them. Our goal is to help you to win, not only in the game, but to win to the development of your team and to the players.
Fantastic. Well, one more question with the software. What are your long-term and short-term ambitions? Because I'm guessing that you might have we want to be here in 5 months, or we want to be here in 2 years, and then longer? Has that been set out yet?
So we have our main goal is to establish more in some markets, especially also I have some cooperations also we have some cooperations also in Spain, and we were actually in WFS World Soccer Forum in Madrid now, and they have invited us there to present the platform in a podium, and we spoke in front of that was really nice. And so our goal now is to go to the youth system in Spain, in Portugal, and also here in Cyprus. I want to grow the brand even more, and it's to tackle basically market by market, because you do understand it's not easy to expand immediately all over the world immediately. So our immediate goal for this year basically is to expand in certain areas in Europe, and we have our eye also in USA, where I would say in USA we actually have major comparisons with USL1 teams and also academies there. But you understand USA is a huge market. So
I mean, USL teams, there's a lot of second teams of like Portland Timbers and all that kind of stuff. So you've got that opportunity to get into MLS itself.
Yeah. So our immediate goal, like for the next year, is to grow the customer base. And also as platform, our main goal, very honest, every month we do an update. I'm not joking. Every month we have a new update. It's either in the TMS or in the application for the players. Every month we build something new, because one of the reasons that we want to have that personal relationship with the coaches, the assistant coaches that we are cooperating, is because we want that feedback. We want them to say, hey guys, I don't like that. I want to see it a bit different. How we can do that. So we take that feedback and we try to create what the coaches ask us. It's going to be much easier for them. Because that's how you build the platform. You hear the people that are working with the platform, the coaches or the assistant coaches, and then we take the feedback and we try to implement it in the platform.
Yeah, that's very, very important, because obviously there's going to be some things that the developers might forget to put in, and it's normal, because there are so many elements, so many ingredients to make this football turta, So
Just to mention a bit some of the things that we have achieved as a platform, like we were like winners of Ajax Reimagining Football Challenge. Basically, we recognized by Ajax by redefining how technology can transform players' development. Real Madrid Accelerator, we won that competition also, and now we're cooperating with Real Madrid. We actually won. We are one of the top 20 UAE startup companies. So
wow, that's
the
pretty big.
platform is pushing, and we are trying this year to establish more customers, so we can have more data, because you know how AI works. As more data you have, more accurate that you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Philip, one more thing before we leave, right? Because obviously Cyprus Football Podcast, how do you feel the Barathlima's going so far? Because my team are top of the league on goals scored, goal difference, and you got Ari, you got Bafo and Aboil, and obviously the rest of the league is still competitive. Teams are taking points off each other. How do you see the season so far?
The past 2 years, the league in general has been very competitive. But this season, because we're talking about this season, I haven't seen the league so competitive in terms of having like 4 or 5 teams that it seems that they're going to compete for the championship. Because like even if you are 6 points behind, but you go in the playoffs, everything changes, and you do understand that. So it seems that we're going to have like 4 or 5 teams for sure that they're going to be there. You have teams that you did not expect to be there, like for Apoel, for example. It was a big mystery of what was going to happen. Obviously, it's a coach team, which is really nice, because you know exactly what we're going to see. And I think they are exceeding their own expectations in terms of the team, also for the individuals.
Mhm.
It also, for me, to be very honest, for your team, Omonia, for me, it was also a mystery with Berg, how he would
Yeah.
come back, and how, if he would change some things that he was doing in the past. Because, to be very honest, he's an unbelievable coach, guys. Come on, let's be very honest. Okay, he won the cup with Ike. Like, he's a good coach. He knows how
Yeah.
to win. But when you go to Omonia, you expect something different. And I think this season he seemed more mature, he has a better understanding of the environment of what is happening. Because I watched the game with Omonia against Apoel also. Omonia was much better, but that's the DNA of Apoel, a big team. If you don't kill them, they will come back. That's
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
Bafos, for me, it shows that they will have an issue with Champions League and the Championship. And to be honest, I did not expect that, because they have the bench and the quality. I think it's the only team in Cyprus that has 20 players in their roster,
Yeah.
quality players.
Yeah.
It will speak very truthfully. It shows it will be there. So we're talking about 4 or 5 teams that they are going to compete. And I like that, because, again, we come to the development of the players.
Yeah.
The league, if you want to develop the players in the league, your players, basically, the league must have a competition. Like,
Of
if
course.
if a team wins the league by 15, 10 points, what's the purpose? Like, you want the players to know that the next game is do or die.
For sure.
I don't know if you agree. And also, you can see that all the teams have better quality this season. It's not easy game. Like, Ike, when it won 1-0 with Omonia Daripu, it wasn't an easy game.
No, it wasn't.
A team that will try and stay in the category. Olympiacos is showing you, like, with Kostis. Kostis is a very good coach.
Yeah. They've been unlucky this season with a few results. Like, okay, the Apoel one, they kind of fell apart, but to be 2-0 up at the Ghazi B against Apoel, not many teams do that, regardless of how good or how bad the Apoel are. So we've seen a lot of competitive games, and I think that the league is getting healthier by the day. And, the players like, David Luiz and Ochoa, tail end of their career, come to Cyprus, and people saying, oh, they're just taking the money, whatever. But what it's doing for the league in terms of the profile is huge.
Exactly. You know that with El now, with Ochoa, actually, because the Mexicans are crazy with Ochoa. Like,
I know this. Our Twitter account went crazy when Ochoa joined. It's crazy. Yeah.
So I don't think that the Cypriot people understand actually how big Ochoa is. Okay.
Yeah.
The Mexican people. So it's they create value to our league.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality of it. So it opens new markets, and I think especially what Bafos did, because they brought David Luiz, it's what they had in mind also, to create new pathways for economic, to bring more income. But it's clever. That's
tourism as well.
Tourism, exactly.
It's massive. It's absolutely massive. So I like how many clubs have changed their mentality, not just about the football, but the branding and the visibility, because it's part of the game now. It's not like what it was 20, 30 years ago, but now you're seeing that perhaps, again, for example, Buffer, the city, might have more Brazilians coming over, and we talk people with money as well. They'll fly over, they'll stay in the hotels, they might go to a game or whatever it is. Same with Mexicans coming to Lemesor. So there's a lot of potential. And I think, again, our teams in Europe have been outstanding this season.
Yeah.
They've been phenomenal.
I think, did you expect that, though? We're very honest, to be so good.
I had a feeling Buffer would qualify for the Champions League group stages.
Yeah.
I had a feeling, because I've seen how they've evolved under Carcedo and the type of players that they've brought in. Obviously Lucasen that scored the goal against Villarreal, he's a quality player. We saw it last season, and how much of a threat he is from set pieces. And here's me thinking, European teams, it doesn't matter how big they are, they're not great at defending set pieces. So if Buffalo can get the delivery right, get Lucasen on the end of it, Goldar, who's very good at the dark arts of blocking the goalkeeper, these little things. So I figured that they could do it, Buffon, and they did. But to beat Villarreal, I didn't think that they would. Ajax to go to Crystal Palace that hadn't lost since February at home, to beat them 1-0 and the way that they did it, I didn't expect it.
I mean, like I expect them all to qualify because we have the quality to that.
Yeah.
But I did not expect that our teams would take so many points. And I'm talking about everyone now, and because even if we discuss now that our team's quality have increased, you don't know exactly the progression.
You don't know what you're gonna get
until you play better opposition. Because with Crystal Palace, yes, Crystal Palace could have scored a goal, like they missed big chances. But that's where like you need the luck, you need like the dog fight inside you. That's how you beat. That's how you win big games. To be very honest with you.
Yeah, it's incredible, and hopefully it continues. Hopefully it continues.
No, man, it's like with the points that you take, because you know the rankings and everything, it's big deal for us.
The coefficient as well. It's really helping. Yeah. So you never know. Next, the thing is, I think because Buffon, Ajax, and Omonia are in Europe, it's actually motivated other teams in the league to not only try and reach their level from that side of things, but also to make the league more competitive. Because let's get it right, Buffon have got targets on their back now. Everyone is raising their game against. I mean, Anorthosis the other day, they were sensational against Buffon. Sensational.
Yeah, and you speak about a team that they are going to try and survive and stay in the league.
Yeah.
Again, and unfortunately for them, because Anorthosis is a big team, historical team, but apparently this season they are trying to avoid relegation, and you see them like that. They actually in the second half, like they tried so hard to play Buffon. It's not easy because Buffon, if you take individually, their players, they are brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're talking about a team, the first Cypriot team to ever qualify for the Champions League. Huge history.
What a qualification! I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, incredible. So I think that the future of Cyprus football is fairly healthy. Okay, there's lots of things that we need to change. Like, for example, getting more than one ambulance at a fucking stadium. That's one thing that we need to start doing. Yeah. Sort out the lights, sort out the stadiums as well, because some of them aren't fit. They're really not great.
I agree with you. For me, the most important, like, I'm gonna take a bit back the conversation, because when we talk about development of players, you need the correct coaches that they have the correct diplomas. They went to the correct facilities to have that training for the specific age groups, and then you need the facilities. They are very important, very important. And when I'm talking facilities, I'm not just talking about the field. I'm talking about they should have a gym, then they should have like an ice bath, then they should have also some rollers. I'm talking about in general what the facility is.
Yeah, footballers are athletes now.
Exactly.
They're not just footballers. They train the same way as an Olympic athlete would.
Because unfortunately football has becoming faster and faster. We are losing the technical players, and that's the reality of football, unfortunately. The only football industry that keeps the same mentality is Spain, and you can see that. The Cruyff school, let's say, and Dutch school, obviously, I'm talking about. But if you see in general, the general movement, the football has become faster and faster. You know why? Because they have made the ball lighter. That's true, though.
Yeah, it's crazy. You hit that ball and it does that. It's like a balloon.
I don't agree with that. You know that. Like I don't agree with that, because you lose the technical players.
Well, because the people want more goals. The sponsors want more goals. The corporates want more goals. So next thing you know, they're going to make the goal double the size.
Yeah,
that's the next thing, or the amount of different points for different zones. I don't know. But Michael, thank you very much for joining me.
For your time, and thank you to your audience for listening to me. If someone wants to hear more about StepOUT, please follow us on StepOUT.
That's the website, www.stepout.ai, and there's also at @StepOUT_Cyprus on Instagram. See, I'm prepared, bro. I'm prepared. Well, boys and girls, we'll be back very, very soon. So until next time,